Hi, I'm Art Ringis, Technical Writer at IXIAsoft. Today I'm talking about the workflow for assignments in IXIAsoft CCMS Web. I'll be talking about how objects are assigned, when assignments are active for users, and how assignments are finished. There's a lot to cover, so I'm jumping straight to it. Now, I'm going to start from the top. The very beginning of the assignment story starts with objects. There are different kinds of objects in CCMS Web which relate to the different components of a document. For example, there are topic objects that contain all the written content, image objects that contain the visual content, and map objects which contain topic objects and image objects organized into a document structure. There's also a bunch of other objects in IXIAsoft CCMS Web like approvals, collaborative reviews, but you get the idea. Any of these objects can be assigned to users, and when you assign an object to a user, it becomes an assignment. Assigning an object doesn't change the object at all, it just means that this object appears on the assigned user's My Assignments page, where they can see and work on it. But an assignment only appears on a user's My Assignments page if it is in the right status. So I'm going to back up a bit and talk about object statuses for a second. Every object has a status. The status makes it clear what stage an object is at. It tells the user whether the object is a draft, is in review, or is done. The sequence of statuses creates a workflow for an object. For example, topics start in work status, but they are in a draft or working state. Then they go to review once they need to be reviewed, and finally when they are complete, they are moved to done and published. Different objects have different statuses and workflows, but they're often pretty similar. So how does an object status affect assignments? An assignment appears on a user's My Assignments page only when the object is assigned to the user and the object is in the correct status for that user to work on it. That's when it becomes an active assignment for that user, and the correct status to become an active assignment depends on the user's role. For example, I might assign a topic to a reviewer, but it does not appear on their My Assignments page if it is in work status and I'm still working on it. It only becomes an active assignment for the reviewer when the topic moves to review status. This makes sense. I can assign a reviewer or editor ahead of time, but they'll only see the object on their My Assignments page when they need to work on it. Let's see how you would assign someone in CCMS Web. First, let's find something to assign in CCMS Web. How about this topic? Click the move icon here to assign an object to a user. But first, I'm going to add this topic to my favorites for reasons you'll see later. The Move dialog is where you fill out the details of the assignment. Since I found this topic on my Assignments page, that means it's already an assignment for me, and you can see here I'm already assigned as a writer. But to assign a reviewer, I have to add one. First, I need to add the role. This is the kind of role you want the user to fill. In this case, I want to assign other SME users to review this topic. So I pick the role, reviewer, and then select some users. I'm thinking Rico and Sarah. Note that I can pick as many reviewers as I want, but some roles have limits. Then I can add a comment. This appears in the banner/expanded line for the assignment on the My Assignments page, like this. You can also pick a context map for the assignment. This makes sure things like keys display properly. Just click Modify, and in this window I can see all the possible context maps to select. In this case, I want the reviewers to look at the topic within the context of the reviewer guide, so I'm going to select that. I'm also going to add a due date. I'd like to have this topic reviewed within my lifetime, preferably 2 weeks from now. And assigned users see this due date on their My Assignments page, like this. Now we have the assignment rules. These rules say when the assignment is considered finished. When an assignment is finished, it has a little green icon that appears on the object icon, like this. I haven't mentioned what finishing an assignment means yet, so let me take a second to do that. When a user is done working on an assignment, she can mark herself as finished. If she does, that little green check mark appears on the object icon. She is the only one that sees it, and it reminds her that she finished the assignment. As each user marks him or herself as finished, they see the same check mark. When enough users mark themselves as finished, then the assignment is considered finished and everyone sees the green check mark. That threshold of when the assignment is considered done is determined by the assignment rule. So, skipping over the first rule, I'll come back to it. The second rule says the assignment is marked as finished only if everyone assigned says they are finished. Once they are all finished, that's when the assignment is finished and the green check mark appears for everyone. The third rule says that the assignment is marked as finished as long as one person marks him or herself as finished. Now, the first rule is a little different. It lets assigned users change the status of the object if they have the access rights that allow them to change the status of objects. A reviewer isn't allowed to do this, so that's why it's grayed out. In this case, I want the assignment to be marked as finished if everyone is finished. Alright, I'm done here. Add, move. Now if I sign in as Rico, you'll see that she doesn't have the assignment. Exactly. Let me sign in as myself and explain. Here's the object again, and you see here it's not in review status, so it isn't an active assignment for Rico yet. Let's change the status and try again. Ah, see? It's here now. I'll skip the review and mark myself as finished. There. That easy? And you can see the green check mark. The assignment does not disappear from Rico's My Assignment page. That only happens once the status of the object changes and is no longer an active assignment. Right now it's like a finished active assignment. If I change my mind, I can toggle that off. Maybe I need to do more work on the assignment. Just click move, toggle it off, and click move again. But I'm going to leave it because I want you to see something else. For me as a writer, I don't see the mark as finished check mark. That's because according to the rule I set, that assignment isn't finished until everyone says they are finished. And the reason this topic is no longer on my Assignments page is because it isn't an active assignment for me anymore. That's why I made it a favorite. Now if I sign in as Sarah, you'll see that she doesn't have the check mark either. That makes sense. She's not done. Well, if I move it to say she's finished, she gets the check mark. And if I switch back to myself, now you see that the object has the check mark. That's because the assignment rule has been satisfied. All the assigned users have marked themselves as finished. Well, now that the review is over, let's see what happens when I change the status again. Back to work. There, the check mark is gone. When the object moves to a new status, the object/assignment is reset. And work status is now an active assignment for writers like me. So if I go back to Rico, the assignment is no longer on her My Assignments page. The assignment disappears from her assignments page because her work on it is done. Now it's the writer's problem. So let's summarize. There are objects. They have statuses. You can assign an object to a user using the move dialog, and it becomes an assignment for him or her. If the object is in the right status, that assignment becomes active for the user and appears on their My Assignments page. Remember, only active assignments appear on the My Assignments page. When that user finishes, he or she can mark him or herself as finished, and they get a check mark. When enough users are marked as finished, the assignment is finished, and everyone gets a check mark. Yay, teamwork. And that's when the writer, whoever can change the status of the object, knows to bump the object along its workflow to the next stage. So there you go. Objects, assignments, statuses, and workflows. Moving objects or assignments through their workflow can sound a little complicated, but it's actually pretty straightforward in IXIAsoft CCMS Web. And honestly, it's kind of fun assigning work to others. Being assigned work isn't as much fun, but it does mean you can set up the entire development process for documentation in CCMS Web. So all you have to worry about is getting the work done.